Hi, good morning everyone. In this session, we'll discuss with the concept of non-performing assets because in this session we'll be dealing with all those things which are related to present issues in banking system and among all other issues in banking system, the most significant one, the most important one, and the very crucial one with respect to economic growth and functioning of banking system is non-performing assets. So before going to types of non-performing performing assets, consequences of non-performing assets, and what are the solutions, first of all we should be in a position to understand what is exactly an NPA, non-performing asset. Now actually a non-performing asset is a loan issued by the bank or any financial institution. So, if either the principal amount or the interest on the loan is not paid for continuously 90 days without any breaks, for example, in a period of 90 days, if you have paid it in the middle, so it is not going to be considered as a non-performing assets. A non-performing asset is continuously for 90 days if there is no repayment to the bank either in the form of principal or in the form of interest. For example, a loan has been taken and on which either the individual is supposed to pay either principal or interest. If it is not done for continuously for 90 days, that means 3 months there is no EMI has been paid either with respect to the principal or with respect to the interest, then that loan automatically becomes an NPA. So such kind of loans can be, for example, that loan can be a plain loan, plain vanilla loan. It is a general loan, so we call it as a plain loan or vanilla loan. Or it can be an overdraft given on the basis of current account maintenance or any other thing. So it can be on an overdraft. It can be on a plain loan or vanilla loan. It can be an agricultural loan. In all other cases, time period is considered as 90 days. For example, if it is a loan related to a plain simple loan, vanilla loan, or it is related to overdraft. Overdraft means you are not having money in your bank account, but on the basis of your previous history of transactions, then the bank is going to give you some advance money as loan. As an adjustment, actually it is called overdraft facility will be there for those people who are maintaining current accounts, and at the same time for government employees also overdraft facility will be there. So on an overdraft, if the amount is not paid either in the form of principal or in the form of interest, and in the case of plain vanilla loan also, if it is not paid, any kind of no repayment is there either in the form of principal or interest, then it is an NPA. For all other cases except agricultural, for agricultural loans, crop duration is considered. For example, if it is a short duration crop, two short duration crops are considered. For example, if the farmer is not paying for two continuous short crop durations, then it is an NPA. If it is a long crop, if it is a long duration crop, short duration crop and long duration crop. With respect to agriculture only, there is a separate definition for non-performing assets. It is considered on the basis of duration of the crops. If two short duration crops, no repayment has been made, then it is an NPA. For a long duration crop, only one long duration crop, there is no repayment has been made, than it is in NPA with respect to agriculture. So that's what we are supposed to understand, the difference between all other categories of loans and agricultural loans. So again, I am repeating, it can be on the basis of a plain loan or vanilla loan, or it can be an overdraft, it can be an agricultural loan. Generally, if it is not paid, if the repayment has not been done either in the form of principal or in the form of interest continuously for 90 days, that means continuously for 3 months, month number 1, month number 2, month number 3, continuously you haven't paid any repayment to the financial institution, then it becomes a non-performing asset. Because here I'm using a non financial institution means this is applicable to commercial banks and this is applicable to cooperative banks also. So in cooperative banks context also, the same NPA definition works out. So if the interest or the payment has not been made for continuously for 3 EMIs, in simple language, month number 1, month number 2, month number 3, continuously 3 months, 90 days, there is no such repayment, then the loan, whatever the loan has been taken, that loan becomes an NPA, non-performing asset. Because whatever the loan granted by the bank, loan issued by the bank, that loan either not generating any interest, and that loan either not generating any principal amount what it has to acquire on this amount. So no acquiring meant no acquirement of any money, no profit at all for the bank. Forget about profit, its own money is not coming back. Now, at least principal is not coming back. So this loan is not doing anything with respect to the development of the bank. So that's why these loans are called non-performing assets. Non-performing means they are not producing any kind of advantage to the bank, at least their own money is not coming back. That's why non-performing asset. So a loan, on a loan, either principal or interest has not been paid for continuously 90 days, in common people's language, in simple language, if 3 EMIs or 3 loan installments or 3 loan principal amounts have not been paid for continuously for 90 days, then automatically that loan becomes a non-performing asset. And based on the time period, we classify them as standard NPAs, substandard NPAs, doubtful NPAs, and loss NPAs. That will come under types of NPA. Again, I am repeating, based on the time period. For example, 12 months, 12 months to 18 months, more than 18 months, and not at all, there is no possibility of recovering the loan, then 4 categories will come: standard NPAs, substandard NPAs, doubtful NPAs, and automatically the last one will be no possibility, so they can be classified as loss NPAs. I'll do that thing in my next session. So this is all about the definition of NPA. So if you want to learn more about NPAs, the very basic thing should be the definition of NPA itself. This 90 days concept is important. The vanilla loan, the overdraft concept, focus on this definition also. Overdraft, it can be defined as liquidity adjustment facility also for the individual and agricultural loans. And apart from that, the loans given to SME segment, MSE segments, corporates, all will come under this segment only. So first of all, try to absorb the definition of non-performing asset. Non-performing asset, actually, it is a loan which is not doing any kind of profitability to the bank. So that's all. So in my next session, I'll deal with the types of NPA. And remember one thing, whatever the NPA concept is there, it is a very hot topic because maximum number of public sector banks are struggling. And one more thing has been added, that is COVID-19 pandemic also has been added. But at the same time, contrary to this, opposite to this, the private banks are doing far better than the public sector banks when doing things related to non-performing agents. They are doing pretty much when compared to public sector banks. And this COVID-19 second wave is best example for all such things. So in my next session, I'll be doing with the types of NPA. Thank you.